So guys, living in Nigeria as an Igbo man or an Igbo woman has never been this traumatizing as it is today under the leadership of Tinubu. Since after the 2023 presidential election where Tinubu lost to Obi in Lagos, I mean, the Igbos have been going through a lot, especially in Lagos State. If they don't come out to lock their shops today, they will tell them never to step out to go to their shops the next day. If it's not fire breakout there, it is fire breakout in the other markets in Lagos State. There've been a whole lot of things, that the Igbos are going through. And guess what? Even the president's wife was seen to be Igbophobic in some of her old videos where she came out to speak against the Igbos. Today, she's the wife of the president of Nigeria, nursing hatred for Igbos in her heart. How do you expect her to share her love across Nigeria, even to people from the Igbo extraction? Nigerians, this is what the Igbos have gone to go through, even under the leadership of Buhari. And we're thinking when a southerner comes in, that is going to be a time of relief for the Igbos. But guess what? It has even worsened under the Tinubu's administration. This time, it is either the Igbos should pack and leave Lagos, or the lands that Igbos have bought in Lagos should no longer be their own possession. I mean, it will get to a point where those lands will be returned back to the government. They've been all manner of strategies being used against the Igbos. Now, a National Assembly caucus has petitioned the IGP. Don't forget that the IGP is from the Yoruba extraction. Do you think he's going to take this petition serious, or is it going to just be another time to throw it under the carpet, knowing that they have nothing to do to better the lives of the Igbos in Nigeria? The hatred is growing, and is growing with a pace that is unbelievable under the leadership of Tinubu. Let me allow you to listen to how Rufai interrogated this Yoruba professor on the speed at which Igbophobia is growing in places like Lagos State. Take a look.
Let's quickly go to the issue of this Igbophobia that keeps coming up over and over again. The NAS caucus team has said to the IGP that you should investigate, and they've written the petition over all of this.
Well, I'm a street person, so I gather information from diverse sources. There are many people that don't like Igbo people.
You know some of them?
Of course. I mean,
really?
I know some of them.
Have you engaged some of them?
Well, they are all around, and they say...
What are their reasons?
Well, many of them think that the Igbo are over-assertive. Some of them think that they are generally not honest. As if you do business with them, you likely regret. There are a whole lot of things they talk about. But I don't agree with Dr. Boniface Chizia that Igbophobia developed in the aftermath of the last election. It has always been there. It probably became, it expanded in the aftermath of the election. But if I'm to link that to the election, there is a point I want to make, and that is that nobody should have the illusion that Obi's victory in Lagos was made possible only by the Igbo votes. Many Yoruba people, mostly elites, those who wanted genuine change and who thought that after assessing the candidate, Obi who occupy the top of the scale, voted for him. We saw that across Lekki, all over the place. So Obi's victory in Lagos was not just the Igbo alone. There were many Yoruba who voted Obi. And the other side to it is this: in the governorship election, in between those weeks, between the presidential and the governorship election, unfortunately, the Igbo too, many of them made mistakes by overemphasizing the ethnic factor in the Obi, the progress Obi made in that election. And the people I spoke with, many of who voted Obi in the presidential said they would never vote Jandor. Sorry, that's a Jandor. Never vote, what's this candidate now?
Rhodes Vival.
Yeah, no,
Rhodes Vival.
Yes, Vival, that they would never vote him. Because it seemed that the whole thing was being seen as an Igbo thing, and the guy that went to Aromire in Ikeja was trying to hoist Biafran flag and say, oh, we have conquered Lagos, the governorship will be out. Those are comments that will normally put people off. And
so you say it's both parts?
Yes, it's both parts.
So they have their own blame?
Yes, they do. And even among the Igbo themselves, it's not one monolithic this thing. You have the Imo, the Owerri, those in Abia. They also have the differences even within them as well. And
so generally, why do you think this perception grows?
Well, unfortunately...
And why do you think people are not welcoming across board? Because when you look at it, every tribe, all the things you said for Igbo people, you can also say for Hausas and Yorubas and any tribe in this country. But I like to narrow the conversation down by not generalizing. I say to people, because you've met an individual, it's not a general spec of a tribe. So when people say they are over assertive and everything, I've met Yoruba people that are equally over assertive.
Exactly.
I've met Hausa people that are equally over assertive.
Exactly.
I've met Igbo people that are equally over assertive. So you cannot just say because one person has an interaction with one person, then you make the mistake of a fallacy of hasty generalization.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to inquire, what did you even tell them? What did you engage with them when these people said these things?
Well, what I discover is that...
because just how they said of the Jews back in the days, and the only undoing of the Jews was because they were successful in business. And you had Reverend Fathers, the likes of Father Coughlin, back in the days in America, saying to them that, oh, the Jewish bankers. Till today. So when you're making fallacies of hasty generalization, can't it be on a case-by-case basis rather than a generalization across board?
Yeah, it is more of a psychological thing and false assumption. For a long time, this statement, Urubuwayo, was very prominent.
Which is also very false.
Yes, and, I'm not sure it has totally cleared. That statement, Urubuwayo, made people to think that the average Yoruba was cunning, was a Wayo person, so to speak. But that has, almost totally cleared now. I think that is the case with the Igbo. It's a psychological thing. It's not something that is based on reality. It is psychological. It is an assumption that is not correct. Unfortunately, it has not disappeared.
So when people peddle assumptions like that did you engage them?
Of course. I've even written about it. I have an essay on ethnic relations in Lagos. And this is one of the things I addressed there. Engaging some of the most honest people I've met are Igbo. There's a lady she's late now, unfortunately. In fact, anything that can be, you can link anything that is not correct, right, with it, she will not use it. She's not interested. And I've met a couple of others like that over time. So it's a psychological thing, false assumption, which unfortunately has not disappeared. Which is why, when people are saying, the 2023 election will be, since he did so well in the last election, the next one, he will just clear the place, I just laugh. That perception, in fact, in the last election, if Atiku had not been there, and it had been just Obi and now President Tinubu, the gap between President Tinubu and Obi would have been so wide. He would have defeated Obi with a very wide margin because of the North. Many of those who voted Atiku would never have voted Obi. They would have voted.
Do you have your facts, or those are just...
Yes, in fact, one of the things we engaged Obi here, that's His Excellency Obi here, when he came on our program here. You see, they were in many parts of the North. They just couldn't just accept Obi. I want to understand. I want to explain that on the basis of maybe the same Igbophobia. As I told you, I'm a grassroots person. We go around, we find out how people are not. And one of the things we were asking Obi when he came here at that time was that he came on the 5th of February. Election was 25th, 20 days to election. 2 weeks before he came, many members of the Labour Party had left. They came to APC in Zamfara, including the coordinator. 3 days before he came here, Bauchi, the coordinator, had come to PDP with almost everybody. And when you engage them one-on-one, even the ones in Lagos, when you engage them one-on-one, they say that if it is a choice between Igbo, they were not even seeing Obi as or his competence or whatever. if it's between Igbo and Yoruba, they are more comfortable with the Yoruba man than the Igbo man. Of course, if a Yoruba and Hausa or
is that not the problem with Nigeria?
It's a problem. And so in the next election,
it's not about competence, but it's about the tribe you're comfortable
with. Yes, ethnicity is a huge, and of course, even the Igbo too are not free of that. Didn't you see the figures for being in the East? In fact, it scored higher than any of the other candidates in their area. So ethnicity is a major problem as far as democracy, elections in Nigeria is concerned. And this must be addressed to a large degree before the best can begin to emerge as leaders in this country.
Let's talk about this 1.5 billion Serap is saying we should all look at and probe. How is that when we take these loans, we just fritter the money away? We don't use it to do anything.
That is, again, it speaks to the Nigerian environment and the Nigerian condition. I also agree entirely with Dr. Boniface Chizia in his submission that when you borrow and it's for capital projects and what you are borrowed for would pay back, the loan, it makes sense. But when you borrow for consumption, it's a problem. Unfortunately, in fact, if you ask me, I would say, let us manage what we have.
Okay.
Let us put a freeze on all these loans for now. Okay. Because the money is just, squandered. And then generations unborn are left to come and pay what they know nothing about. Okay. We should adopt.
Okay. I just want to really have a pause because this is part of the issue we're going to talk about. We want to go to Aaron and probably ask him why Nigeria never came back with any medal. Team Nigeria on Saturday ended participation at the 2024 Olympics with 0 medals. Nigeria's participation came to an end after Hannah Ruben lost at women's 76K freestyle wrestling.
Why has Tinubu's government not seen it necessary to address the Yorubas over the growing Igbophobic in Nigeria? Under Buhari, it was hell. And now a southern president is there. It's even becoming worse. I mean, the experience a typical Igbo man goes through at the hands of Yorubas. So guys, you have seen it for yourself. Honestly, it's not an easy experience that the Igbos go through. Under Tinubu, under Buhari, it was hell. And people were like, let a southerner take over, let a southerner take over. In short, for every southeasterner, it was either to vote for, Peter Obi or Tinubu, because people yearn for a southern leader. Because we felt, because the North has always been in charge, they've always worked against the South. So we felt, okay, a southerner should be there. Now that we know that clearly Peter Obi won the 2023 presidential election, but for a Fulani man, it would be like a taboo for him to come out to say that an Igbo man won the election. So he felt it is not under the Buhari's regime that an Igbo man was going to succeed Buhari. Remember, INEC is the only one to decide who is pronounced the winner, even when it is clear that someone else is won. It is only INEC who that will decide if he's going to give that victory to the person that actually won or give it to someone else. And we saw it in a broad daylight, how INEC came out to, do all manner of things, tell us there was glitch, fabricated results, so many contradicting results on the IRF and what was on ground, as the reality. So many strategies that the INEC chairman adopted just to make sure that an Igbo man does not succeed Buhari. And guess what? Tinubu was announced as a winner. Since Tinubu came into power, he has watched the Yorubas destroy Igbo properties, do all manner of things to the Igbos, destroy their houses, make them homeless, tell us they are trying to, to remove buildings that were a kind of stopping the passage of water. You go to destroy building without giving people notice. You go to destroy building despite the hardship in the town or in the country without notifying them ahead, telling them on time that after 1 year your property will be destroyed. Go and look for an alternative. You don't tell them that. Some of them never got notice. You just bashed on them. 2 hours they were given to take away their property. Who does that in a country we all claim to be ours? who does that. And when the Igbos say, let us go, we want to be on our own, you say you will not let the Igbos go. For God's sake, to avoid all this discrimination, to avoid all these things, is it not time for you to listen to the Igbos? If they say they want to go, let them go. After all, they are just a small section of the country. If they feel they can survive without Nigeria, let them go, instead of tormenting them, instead of, making a Nigerian to feel he or she is not welcome in this country. No part of this country should be looked at as to be more superior than another part of the country. And that is what the Igbos have got to go through under the leadership of Tinubu. Tinubu for one day has never come out to caution the Yorubas. Tinubu for one day has not come out to make an open address to ask the Igbos not to take it serious with those who are, using all kinds of languages to them. Tinubu for one day has not seen it necessary as a leader to come out to address this Igbophobia that is growing in his own state. He is from Osun State. He is a well-known politician in Lagos State. He has not found it needful to come out to talk to the Agboros, those that attack the Igbos, attack Igbo businesses, try to tell us we are not part of Nigeria, try to tell us we are not welcome in Lagos, try to tell us we are seizing their lands when we bought them with money, try to tell us that the Igbos are too greedy. They are Igbos that have developed Lagos, Igbos that have made Lagos what it is today. Today, the Igbo man worth nothing to the Lagos government, despite the fact that the own majority of the businesses and own majority of, when I mean businesses, you know what I mean. I mean all the markets in Lagos. Go there and see that they are predominantly owned by the Igbos. And instead of this government to see them as shareholders in Lagos State, they are being talked down on. During election, they are being threatened. What kind of country do we live in? Now, leave the Igbos to go. Allow them go. Allow them go. They say they want to be on their. Allow them go. All they want is a seaport, a working international airport. Give them seaport in the southeast. Give them southeast seaport. If you cannot give them, they go to south. Build a seaport in Warri, build a seaport in Port Harcourt, build a seaport, working seaport, give them a good seaport and allow the Igbos to go. They will have little to nothing to do with Lagos State, and still you are holding them back. We've been told that 70 to 80% of containers that land in Lagos head to places like Onitsha, and that's Anambra State and Abia State. And this is what the Igbos have got to go through. You have to bring your cargo to Lagos, and then you transport it to the east. And then it is going to cost you more. And then you are going to spend more. You are going to pay the Lagos government money. And all these things are not welcome. Still, the Igbos are seen to be threats to Nigeria's existence. Under Tinubu, it is becoming hellish. Even though he's from the south, Nigerians were thinking that people that went to school will still behave like educated people. Today, the timidity, the barbaric way that the Igbos are treated by the north is being seen in the south. And we tend to say we are one. There is no unity here. Let the Igbos go. If you don't want to welcome them, let them go. That's the only alternative. Let the Igbos go. And you feel you want to have them in Nigeria, make equal space for every tribe in this Nigeria. Make an equal space. Let it be the same way a Yoruba man is seen. That's the way an Igbo man should be seen. That's the same way Hausa or Fulani should be seen. That is what we have got to see in this video. So guys, let me know your thoughts on all this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.